Doing the period end close process in the general ledger is a very important function because it's going to make sure that, first of all, you've updated your subsidiary modules, meaning anything that is not general ledger, because anything that you do in accounts payable, receivables, bank rec, whatever the module is, the results of any postings that you create will always update to the general ledger module. So the first thing, again, you probably don't have all these modules. Whatever modules you have, you would go through and do your period end close process. If you're using payroll, you'd want to make sure that the current payroll cycle period and all the information has been posted up over to the general ledger. And then once we have all those postings and we've closed out of our subsidiary modules by going through their respective closes, then I'm just going to come over and simply say process period end close. And as you can see here, it's going to automatically, it's not even going to let me change anything. It's going to close period 1 and it's going to advance us. And the prerequisites, all information from subsidiary modules. There we go again. It needs to be posted. All the batches should be posted within the general ledger. The reports for the period should be printed, and a current backup of the general ledger data file exists. Now, if you have a backup methodology, maybe it's going to a zip drive on your server, that's great. If you wanted to do a manual backup process, that's very easy to do. Our staff would be happy to illustrate that. You'll notice here, unlike accounts payable, it doesn't tell you specifically the reports that you should print. So again, going through those little steps is very easy. As far as processing, we just posted all the journal entries. And again, looking at this window, you'd probably want to just do a select all. This is test data right here. So obviously we're not going to post all that up. But usually you're just going to select all and post, running your reports just to make sure that you have your historical documentation. And then again, for your reports, I would, and depends on if you're using F9. Let's face it, if you're running a detailed F9 income statement, there's not going to be too much beneficial, or too much that you're going to benefit rather, from our detailed CYMA income statements. Although they are meaningful, and you can modify the account types and subtypes to make these even more meaningful, but you're probably going to want to at least, though, run for reference purposes an income statement for your files, and then, a worksheet, a trial balance, and also, while we're down here under income statements, below income statements is our balance sheets, and so a detailed balance sheet would also be a great report to print. And that way you're covered from a trial balance standpoint, balance sheet, income statement. And again, even if you're using F9, having the printed out income statement in CYMA is usually a great additional level of security, and you have an extra hard copy of something should you need to be able to produce that. Going back over now, I could simply say process, period end close. I'm going to go ahead and say, yeah, I've got everything done. I did all my postings, and I'm going to say yes. And so now it says that it's been advanced, and now we are in period 2.